Hey guys, plain and simple man here, and I want to welcome you to my very first. It's my very first podcast, and I'd like to rename that from podcast. I want to call it Bagcast. So this is my very first Bagcast. It's kind of hard to say, Bagcast. Um, have never done one of these. I used to be part of what was that? It was like that radio that I forget the name of it. It was at that radio station that you can, it was pretty popular about Blog Talk Radio. That's what it was. I used to do the Blog Talk Radio stuff, and there's my phone kind of jingling there. Um, let's see what Horse 60 has to say. He is saying, be right there, man. Stand by. So I'm going to have Horse 60 as my guest. If you haven't seen his channel, I'm going to link it down below. But by the way, speaking of Horse 60, I just want to let you guys know that both him and I had served in the military, so we're pretty good friends. We've known each other for quite some time, so it's going to be a pleasure having him on today. And what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about Call of Duty, and it's going to be the state of the game. This is the state of Call of Duty, and exactly where I think the game is going. A lot of people have watched some of my videos on YouTube, and they've said things like, you're bad mouthing Call of Duty. We thought you liked Call of Duty. We thought, you had nothing to say but good things about Call of Duty. And all of a sudden you don't like the game anymore. And that's not the case. I think people read way too far into the things that I talk about. First of all, I love Call of Duty. All right. Let me just put that out there for you guys. I like Call of Duty. I like the basic principle of Call of Duty is just, you got two teams of soldiers, okay? Both teams are trying to kill each other. Both teams are trying to gain an objective. One team is trying to win. You get kills and you die. The whole concept of that to me is absolutely what drew me to the game. The maps, the developers, playing with friends, the whole thing. But I've seen this game change a lot. And I'm not going to tell you that everything has been bad, because it's not. There's been a lot with this game that has that I think changed for the better, but there's also a lot that changed for the worse. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've noticed over the past years. And I've already talked about this in some of my videos, but this whole thing of releasing a game every single year drives me up a wall. And all the developers and Activision, they'll sit there and tell you, well, we went to a 3 developer rotation so we can give you the best game possible. Now, there's no question that when you have more time to devote to a video game, that you're going to make a better product. I don't deny that. I don't believe that that's false. I believe that the developers are absolutely right when they say that. The problem is let me just for example, I'm going to pretend right now that I'm Sledgehammer or Treyarch or Infinity Ward, and I just created what I feel is the greatest game we've ever developed. Right? I'm David Vonderhaar. Let's pretend I'm David Vonderhaar, and it's November, and we just dropped the best game that we've ever released. All right. By the time December rolls around, a lot of people are coming into the game because you've got people buying the game for Christmas. Right now, I'm at an all-time high. The game is doing well. We're making money. We've got the map packs coming out in January, February for both consoles, okay? This is a great time. But once January comes around, and it's every single year, guys, every single year, you can go to YouTube right now and you can type it in, and people right now are already speculating on the next Call of Duty game. We're not even 3 months into the cycle of Black Ops 3, and we're already talking about the next Call of Duty. Go ahead and do it yourself. Go right now, go to YouTube and type out the next Call of Duty game, and you're going to see thumbnails upon thumbnails upon thumbnails. People are going to be talking about, is it going to be Modern Warfare 4? Is it going to be Ghosts 2? All these videos that people work hard on, speculating, right? This is all just speculation right now, but people are already making videos. Now, I'm David Vonderhaar, right? what do I think at this time? What am I thinking? Okay, I'm thinking, great. We're making a lot of money, no question. We're making tons of money. But you know something? There's a lot of pride that I think as a developer and as somebody like David Vonderhaar should have in a video game. Meaning that I would be pretty pissed off if I went out on YouTube and saw that people are already starting to make videos about the next developer's Call of Duty game. And that's why I think we should go to a Call of Duty cycle of every 2 years instead of every one. Oh, it gets worse. Oh, it gets worse, guys. Because once the map packs hit, right, people are going to be talking about E3. Now, everybody, if you're not familiar with E3, it's probably the Super Bowl of anything that has to do with video games. All right. The developers, they talk about their next innovative things that they're going to have. Like the developers, the Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they talk about what they're going to do for their consoles or what the next console is going to be. And the developers talk about their next games, and developers, they show trailers and everything else. And then we get the sneak peek. We get the sneak peek of what we're going to see for the next game. But before that even happens, guys, before that even happens, a lot of the bigger YouTubers out there, you know what they're doing right now? They're talking about all these hints that they found on Twitter from the different developers, like, ooh, today, Treyarch just posted a tree in the snow. Wow. I remember seeing a tree in Black Ops 1. Well, that must mean, or Black Ops 2. That must mean Black Ops 3 is coming out. I heard this last year. Talking about a black bird. Ooh, this has something to do with the last game. I mean, you know, you got a game in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare last year that, all right, a lot of people didn't like it, but I don't know. I just don't get it. I kind of friend of mine is waiting on me. He's saying he's waiting on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and invite my friend here and see what I can do. Boy, this is gonna be fun. This is the first time I've ever done this, guys. So you got to bear with me. Horse 60 right now is trying to get in, and hopefully we can get him in here within a decent amount of time. But what I got to do is send him the link. Let's send Horse 60 the link. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll get back. Once he joins, we'll get back on track, and then we'll try to get back into the discussion. Now, the thing is, I set this broadcast up for 30 minutes, which could be a huge problem because I know Horse 60 likes to talk. You got to hear his podcast. He's good. He talks a lot. Like his podcasts. I mean, I told him, I don't know how you do it. You talk for a really long time, but he keeps it entertaining. And you know, the thing about Horse is he always has a lot of people coming in. He has a lot of people that he talks to. He does this thing, the Knights of the Round Table. So I think that's pretty cool. But right now I'm waiting on him to kind of chime in, and we'll see what happens. But getting back to Call of Duty, I really believe they got to go to a 2-year cycle. Like I said, these bigger YouTubers, guys that have a lot more subscribers than I do, these guys are constantly throwing all of these findings in our faces, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not bashing these guys. That's what they do. But the problem as a developer, I would think that if I had a game that was currently out right now, I'd be like, hey, wait a second. You guys forgetting about Black Ops 3? You guys are already talking about Ghosts 2. You guys are already talking about Modern Warfare 4. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. Maybe you guys can comment down below and tell me what you think, because I don't think I'm overreacting. Okay, he's telling me to send me the link, the Hangout link, bro. I'm going to tell him I don't know how. Have no idea how. No idea how. I already sent him through Google. I sent it through Google. Sent it through Google already. Let me see if he'll respond to that. This is a work in progress. I'm trying to kind of get him. Let's see what we got here. Let me go to my my control room. Let's see. Okay, control room. That's nice. I got that. I'm looking at settings. Oh, invite people. Okay. Share the permanent link. Okay. So I'm going to copy this link. This is the link. I'm going right for it. Let me see if this is the same link. We're just trying this out. Hangouts, there it is. He should be able to join. And guys, like I said, this is a complete work in progress. Once we get him in there, I think this will be good. Right now, this is set, though. It's only set for 30 minutes. I'm wondering if I can change this. Well, while we wait on Horse 6-0, let me go ahead and talk about what we were just talking about. I think the developers are not only being punished, but they're treated fairly well. Now, what I mean by that is you've got Treyarch right now with Black Ops 3 as the current game, right? We're only a few months in. These guys right now are being treated well, okay? But when June comes around, and right before June, when that comes around, guess who's going to be treated well? The people at Infinity Ward, because their game is going to be talked about more. And guess who's going to be treated bad? Well, Treyarch and the people that have the current game right now, which is Treyarch. So I don't think this is going to be, I don't think it's fair. Yeah, Google can be weird like that sometimes. Arch and I run into it all the time. Okay. So he's trying to join. We'll try and figure this out. I'll go ahead and try and invite him once again. We're going to invite people. I'm just going to type in horse. Let's go horse. Ah, there he is. There's one. It's a work in progress, guys. Work in progress. I'm going to try and invite him again. I don't even know if this is going to work. I don't even know if Horse came in yet. I'm not too sure. I think Horse.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, Horse. We're doing a little bit of a test, but I'm just talking about something pretty cool.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good,
Can you hear
man.
me?
I can hear you. Hey,
all
you
right,
hear me?
great. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so this is just a test, but what I'm talking about is the state of Call of Duty, and I'm talking about I'm going to let you take the floor, but right now, you go ahead. But right now, what I was talking about is the 1-year release cycle, and I'll let you give your 2 cents. And I already mentioned your channel, but I'm going to put that down.
Oh, did you? Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. First off, thank you for the invite to your show. It's greatly appreciated. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Horse 6-0. I'm a personal friend of Plain and Simple Man, and I'm coming to you live from the other side of the sites on the Plain and Simple Man ass-kicking show that it is. I am unbiased, unscripted, unapologetic, uncensored, no punches pulled, no holds barred commentary, straight from the horse's mouth. That's my selling gimmick. My channel is not for entertainment purposes, but for educational purposes, and I'm a critic. I don't know what the rating is. I don't know if this is a PG show, PG-13 R-rated show, but
do whatever you want, man. This is different from what I normally do.
Okay. Just to let you know, once this podcast is rendered, it will appear on your YouTube channel, by the way. All right, so since we're on that, where to start about Call of Duty? Well, being a true blue OG Call of Duty fan all the way back to Allied Assault in 2003, the yearly release of Call of Duty is what is a major factor that has killed this franchise.
Yep.
The reason it has killed this franchise is, as you know, this franchise started in 2003. So here we are. We are, 14 years later. So there's a 14-year-old kid whose first game is Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Sad.
It's his first impression of Call of Duty. And, unfortunately, with the yearly cycle, the games and the storylines have no room to breathe. Arch and I touched on this on our Pyrocast this past Friday, where, one of our subscribers said, "What's your favorite Calls of Duty?" And we didn't touch on just a particular game. We talked about the eras. We talked about why the game meant so much and what its original purpose was from the Jason West and Vince Zampella Infinity Ward. And then once Call of Duty 3 came around and Treyarch started to get involved, that's when Bobby Kotick, Eric Hirschberg, and all the snakes over at Activision started to see a trend. They said, hold on a second. We can release this game and have these guys basically piggyback each other, and we can just keep this cycle of content coming out. Well, around Modern Warfare 2 time, or I would have to say Modern Warfare 2 around 2000, 2007, 2009, right around between 2007 2009, YouTube kicked off. Back then it was a free thing. And myself and millions and millions and millions of Calls of Duty players will agree that YouTube has ruined Call of Duty. And with a yearly release, nothing is finite. You know what I mean? Or correction, nothing is infinite anymore when it comes to Call of Duty. You don't have a relationship with any of the characters. You don't have they say 3-year cycle. That's a fucking scam because it takes 8 months.
That's hilarious. That's funny you brought that up. I didn't mean to cut you off. I talked about that 3-year cycle, and the developers are constantly saying things like, well, we have a 3-year cycle, so it's going to make the game better. Now, I said that from a developer standpoint, they're going to have more time in the game, but you're still going on a 1-year cycle no matter how you look at it. They should have stuck with 2 developers and skipped a year, in my opinion.
No. That's a good idea to have. I mean, I talked about creating a super team, and okay, you want to keep your 1-year cycle going. That's all fine and dandy. But if I was in charge of Activision, I would say, okay, look, this is what we're going to do, because Activision is included in the final build of the game, just like Ubisoft is included in the final build of any game that comes out of their developers.
Yep.
And with that, that's how a game gets to going gold. So once a game goes gold and it's ready for its final out, so on and so forth. That's the business process that it takes. The fact is, if I was in charge, I would stop Call of Duty. I would say this is going to be the last Call of Duty for the next 3 years. We're going to take the top 100. I'm going to look at all the appraisals. I'm going to see who the best developers are, who the best sound men are, who the best animators are, who the best motion capture are, who the best voice actors are. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to research those characters.
Yep.
And then and then in 3 years, you're going to get a prequel. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a prequel. You're going to see how Captain Price became Captain Price from Sergeant Price in Call of Duty 2. You're going to see how Soap became Soap. You're going to see Soap go through SAS training. You're going to see Gaz go through Marine Force Recon training. You're going to see Sandman go through Special Forces training and then to Delta training. You're going to see these teams come together, but you're not going to get it in a World War experience. And that's the problem with Call of Duty, is that it deals with a global scale. If you notice, every Call of Duty that comes out every year, they say a global event, a global event, a global event. Well, fuck, man. How many global event universes can you create?
Yeah, that translates to, hey, we're making money right now. Hey, we're making money right now. Lots of it.
Call of Duty, to compare Call of Duty to politics, Call of Duty, the casual gamer is the middle class. The uber tuber, the mega tubers, they are the super class. Okay? And the underground channels like ourselves, we're the lower class. We're the money funnel. Okay, the middle class is the money funnel that goes into building this game.
Yeah, we're the guys that when we say something that actually makes sense, the people that are in the upper echelon say, "No, go ahead and grab a broom and sweep because we don't want to talk to you. We don't want to listen to you."
The one thing that they fail to realize is that they're not always right. That's the thing. And when with like today, I'll use an example of today, and I'll get back to the original question that you asked me. Like today, I go onto a video and I make my point. I'm like, hey, man, why are you still supporting this game? It's because he has to keep his YouTube channel alive.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a one-trick pony YouTube channel, Call of Duty is so saturated. Basically, every game out there is so fucking saturated. You have to abuse the SEO to get ahead. You have
Yep.
to beat. You have to fight fire with fire. You have to beat. You have to beat the SEO guys at their own game. And for me, with Call of Duty, I've gotten so far away from it. It's one of those. I'm
Well,
past my Call of Duty phase.
I-
That's the thing.
and one of the things I was going to add to that is if there's
I,
anybody
I have
out,
been I have
go
been
ahead.
driven from a franchise because of low quality output, sorry quality product, and substandard gaming
Right.
that I want no part of it. I want no part of it, and I will not support. It would be like what I said on one of my videos. Would you go to a car dealer and buy a vehicle without an engine, and then go buy an engine, bring it to that vehicle, that uh, whatever the fuck it is, vehicle dealer, and say, hey, can you put this engine in there? Nah, fuck you.
Yeah. And
Oh, well, fuck you. You're not getting my business anymore, bro. Eat
no,
my dick.
no, totally, dude. And what I was going to add to that too is it just seems like a lot of the people that play strictly Call of Duty, and I'll be honest with you, I was right there with these guys, but it was almost like we had freaking blinders on and we were looking straight ahead to the next release. But one thing that I found out recently, as 2013, I thought, hey, there's this game called Titanfall that's made by Respawn. That's a pretty cool game, right? Well, I tried that out and I figured out, I said, you know what? There are other freaking games to play. It's like Pleasantville.
Sure.
The road keeps going on. And now there's Rainbow Six. Now you got Tom Clancy's The Division coming out. And I told you I'm kind of thinking about waiting on that. But you know what? All the Call of Duty guys that are just so engulfed in that circle of Call of Duty, they're never going to jump ship. They won't do it because of how the developers, I feel, are feeding them things.
Well, it's not just that. It's the cults of personality. Uh, Plain and simple, man. It's the cults of personality. You can't tell a Call of Duty gamer that their game sucks. It's like a cosmetologist. You can't tell a Scientologist that his religion sucks. You can't tell a Christian that his religion sucks. You can't tell a Buddhist, a Muslim. You can't tell somebody that it sucks without what? Facts to back it up.
Yep.
If you can bring the facts that there's something wrong with Call of Duty or whatever it is that you believe in, because see, there's a difference between an idea and a belief. You can change somebody's view on an idea, right? You can build a better light bulb, but people die for a belief.
Yep.
They fight for a belief. They will tear their own eyes out for a belief. That's the thing. And if you can convert that person away from that cult of personality, that person, like, I call them the top 10 golden boys of Call of Duty. I call them the top 10 golden boys of MLG. No matter what the game is, if you can tear yourself away from that culture. See, the problem now with the gaming culture, because you do say this is the state of gaming or the state of Call of Duty or whatnot, Call of Duty community. The Call of Duty community is a toxic community.
You're telling me.
It's a racist, homophobic. It's worse than fucking Bernie Sanders at his best. I mean, it's worse than Hillary Clinton at her fucking best. It's worse than Donald Trump at his worst. It's worse than Ted Cruz at his worst. It's a community. Not saying on everyone, because there are good people within the community. I'm not going to rope those people in with what I've seen on a daily basis when I game. But whenever I went into a lobby, the first thing was, "Hey guys, how's it going?" "Ah, fuck you, nigger. Fuck you, faggot. I fucked your mom last night." "Oh, guess what? You just found a one-way ticket to Mute Street. Go fuck yourself."
Well, the problem I'm seeing right now is when I started playing Rainbow Six, I thought I was safe because I started playing and everybody I played with seemed to be pretty cool. But now it seems like a lot of the Call of Duty community is going over there because now I'm getting team killed.
Well, we call on our pirate cast, we call we call them plague rats. That's what they are. They're plague rats, man. If they feel that they can go and infiltrate, they're a cancer. They are. The shitty Call of Duty gamers, any shitty gamer in any game whatsoever, is an infection, is a virus
Yep.
to the game, and it makes you. You want to meet new people online. You want to make new friends online. An online community is supposed to be a place where you can go and meet people. It's not a place where you go and listen to, the, the FCC can't control multiplayer gaming, and I feel that there needs to be more regulation on multiplayer.
Yeah, well, another problem too, though, is the fact that if you look at the gaming genre as a whole, there's not guys out there that are like us too often. I mean, you do have some older gamers out there, but man, there's a lot of young gamers that shouldn't even be playing games. They're barely old enough to tie their shoe, and they're out there dropping F-bombs and everything else too. So it's a pretty broad audience now, but it just seems like there's just a lot of young kids out there, and they're not home trained the right way. They all need to join the military someday so they can get straightened out.
Well, all good things start in the home.
Yeah.
And children's online daycare sums up the Call of Duty young gamer. And I say this to any kid out there playing Call of Duty. It's like, you don't realize something, man. There's something out there called the big old world. You need to get off your ass, stop munching on your Doritos, stop drinking your Mountain Dew, start, because eventually you're going to fucking end up like Cartman when he was all beefcake, beefcake. I mean, that's exactly what you're going to turn into. You're going to turn into some fat, obese kid who's going to go out and be ridiculed for the way you look by people that you're running with online.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good gamer, but he's a fat, pimply case Dorito eating, Mountain Dew slurping kid. It's like, do you really want to associate yourself as that type of person? No, you want to go out and project yourself as a positive person.
Well,
I try. I try to always tell these gamers. It's like, look, like one gamer asked me, he's like, "Well, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Who are you going to vote for?" And I was like, my voice is none of your fucking business, because you're not entitled to know who the fuck I'm going to vote for. So the fact is when you go out and you comment on a video, a person will always do this. They won't go after what you say in your comment, or they won't go after your content. They'll go after you as a person.
Yep.
And what these people don't realize is that you don't know who you're talking to on the other side of the keyboard. You don't know if that's a bigger, meaner dog on the other side of the keyboard. You don't know what that person's life has been like. You don't know what that person's background is like. For me, I personally don't give a fuck because I fear no man, and I'm a fucking gun owner. So you think I give a shit? Fucking no, I don't. Why? Because I'm educated. I'm a military veteran. I look out for the better interests of the public. But the fact of the matter is that these smart mouth fucking kids out there think that they know it all. And if you remember when you and I were growing up, because you and I are the same age, when we were growing up, what did our parents say? Oh, you think you know it all? Okay, well, there's a door. There's a door. Go out and experience the big old world. You'll be home by 6 begging for food.
That's right.
That's what parents today, you and I have become babysitters. You and I have become babysitters. Our channels have become babysitters. Our streams have become babysitters. A kid can watch us anywhere. Technology has outgrown the mind. Einstein said it best. Technology will eventually outgrow man. And that's God's honest truth.
Yep.
It's the God's honest truth. And the fact of the matter is this, plain and simple, man, is that these kids nowadays who play these video games, it's a proven fact, man. They're more aggressive. They get into problems more at school. They do worse on their grades. Because their mind is so wrapped up with, instead of paying attention with what's going on in school and what's going on in the socioeconomic background of their lives, they're worried about getting home and playing a video game.
Yep.
When you and I were growing up, man, we had Pong, Atari 2600.
Yeah, we liked it.
But our parents also said you only get to play that 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
You better ration your time appropriately.
Yeah.
And
So, I don't mean to cut you off, Jeff, but I'm gonna kind of cut it here because this is a test. But I think I'm gonna upload this. So if you want to say something to get people coming on over to your channel, go ahead. This is your platform. Bring them on over, man. Go ahead.
you want the God's honest truth on this? Fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can come to my channel, and you don't have to come to my channel. I can give a fuck less. The fact of the matter is that there's a big old world out there. Get off your fucking ass and go enjoy it. That's the thing. Tomorrow is your memory of today. Carpe diem, which means live for the day for you dumb fuckers out there that don't know Latin. So, those are my final thoughts for my brother.
I appreciate it. And as I said, I do want to be part of your podcast too. And guys, I'm going to leave Horse 60's link down below. So you guys can go check him out, and I've been trying to get onto his podcast. The problem is the only time I can podcast, guys, is on a whim. I even told Horse himself, I said, I don't even know when I'm going on between cooking dinner, between coming home and taking care of Mr. Sad Bag and Mr. Happy Bag. Right. And then I just kind of sent him a message, and I know Horse 60 does his podcast on Fridays, but I'm going to leave all that information down below. Again, Horse, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to upload this. I might actually download this and edit it and just kind of, do something wacky or whatever. Because before you came on, I talked for a good 20 minutes, just kind of getting my feet wet. Because it's hard when you haven't spoken like this, and and there's nothing that you kind of run out of things to say. So I might edit that part of it down because I kind of rambled. I was trying to send you the link. And, and my phone was going. It was kind of natural, though. It was kind of funny. I might just leave it in for the hell of it.
Well, the thing about doing these podcasts, plain and simple, man, is this. This is live radio. This is internet radio.
Yeah.
Anything can happen on internet radio. And with our Pyrocast, we have cut it down from 4 hours to 2 hours. We just
know what? I may not even edit this, Horse. I may just leave it as it is. But what I'll do is keep it private. I'll make a thumbnail. Once I'm done, I'll slap it on there and then just send it out. And I'll just tell people, hey, it is what it is. This is as good as it gets. And
sure.
But anyway, thanks for joining me, Horse, on this test, if you will.
You want me to take us out?
You take it out, baby.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for coming by to the Plain and Simple Man and Horse 60 podcast. Our helos here, we've got to hit the skids. Plain and Simple Man and Horse 60. We are RTB.
Peace.
Out.